Hey loves, it's your girl Candace. I'm here with Confidential Talk. I just got done watching Married at First Sight, Poised for Battle, okay? Miss Dominique, okay? She was ready for Pastor Cal, honey. Listen, y'all, this episode, I feel like each episode, obviously we get to know the couples a little bit more, but I just changed my perspective. Like, I just saw a shift in Chris and Nicole's situation and their relationship. Like, whereas last week I was just like, oh yeah, Nicole, I don't know, like she ain't gonna be rocking with this. Like, she was like totally submissive this episode. I was just really shocked. Honestly, it kind of threw me off. Gina, Miss Gina. And it's funny because that's why I need y'all commenting. I love when y'all comment because y'all be giving me different perspectives. I definitely kind of was on Gina's side at first, even though I kind of got the hint that she wasn't like feeling Clint. But y'all really broke it down like, nah, Gina been low-key dogging Clint. So for his comments really wasn't nothing. It was really light for real. Honestly, y'all changed my perspective when it came to that situation. And I kind of saw a comment with her not wanting to move in. But I definitely got some commentary about that. Kirsten, child. Kirsten, baby. Baby. Her living situation is literally the same as her personality. It just lacks, okay? It lacks substance. It lacks. She lacks personality. And so does her apartment, man. Like, honestly, it just lets you go. It lets you know right there, looks are not everything, okay? Because she is a beautiful woman, okay? But it just really goes to show, like, looks aren't everything. Kirsten. And like, it wasn't me. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going out of order because I really do want to go. I'm gonna start to recap. But I do want to ask this question. And I need y'all to comment below. Did I miss us going through Shaq's apartment last episode? Did I miss that? Because I would have loved to see that versus Kirsten's empty ass spot that looked like the model home, just like he described. He was like, where's the... Is this you just move in? Like, I was confused. I was like, Kirsten, explain. Like, literally. I don't know, whatever the case is, we gonna get into it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's get into the episode. Oh, if you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Candace. I do videos on sex, love, relationships. I talk about sex toys over here. We talk about how to better your sex life. And of course, we do these recaps. So make sure you guys check out some of my other videos. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Become part of the Confidential Talk family. And of course, comment below. I'm not doing these recaps for nothing, okay? I'm doing this to talk to y'all because y'all my friends. So comment below so we can talk. I definitely respond to comments. We was going, like, I've been literally going back and forth with a lot of y'all in the comments about this show. It's just so entertaining. Honestly, this is such a crazy scenario. And it's so crazy because, of course, we get this Pastor Cal in this episode. And him counseling some of the couples. And I have some commentary on that because, obviously, yes, we're here for the experiment. This is very intriguing and interesting. Like, I mean, like, the whole idea of two people never met and they have to literally jump in and be with each other 24 pretty much. Like, they living together. They're like, it's just like it's crazy, right? And for him to just kind of like counsel them, I just like I've kind of felt like, okay, well, yes, he's right, but there's other things that he could have said or he was missing or he just wasn't hitting. So I don't know, we gotta talk about it, but we gonna start off at the beginning of the episode. Episode 8, Poised for Battle. Okay, we start off with Chris and Nicole. Nicole meets Chris's kids, okay? You know, little Dakota is just humping all over the place. And Nicole like, hey, if this is any indication on how Chris do, since Dakota watches Chris all the time, I'm in good hands. I was just like, okay, Nicole, get you some, child. I know she been ready, so I hope Chris delivers. Y'all, y'all know how I feel about Chris. I'm not a huge Chris fan. And I really felt like he was going to fall short in the bedroom. Okay, but Nicole seems to be in good spirits. So, and then we find out later in the episode that she got some. Okay, Spoiler alert. So then we move on to Dominique and McKinley. So they're about to visit Dominique's house, and McKinley's outside video recording himself talking about how he's the big loser. He literally said that. He's like, I'm the loser. So I'm pretty sure, you know, Dominique's apartment is going to be great because it's going to be way better than me staying in somebody's basement. And at that point, I knew. I was like, McKinley's pride is completely gone. Like, he's checked out. Because not only have you criticized him for being who he is, Dominique, now he feels like he can't, like he's being put in a position where he looks like he can't provide as a man, or he's not stable. And it's just, that hurts a man's ego. Like, no, he was done, okay? I could tell his energy shifted last episode. Like, I think the last straw for him was the conversation in the car when Dominique was like, okay, if you can't commit to moving out here and getting your own place, how can you commit to a marriage? Why, that was a good analogy, right? I love it, made sense, right? I personally, and I said this last recap, understand why McKinley may have not got a actual place out in Nashville. I think that's where they are. So I understand that because, one, he's a single man. I didn't know he had dogs. That's a whole other story. Okay, he left his dogs behind. That's questionable. Talking about Mr. I need my dogs. Where's your dogs? Okay, I didn't know about that. I don't know if did y'all hear about the dogs prior to this episode? Comment below if y'all knew about McKinley having dogs, because I ain't never heard about them. Okay. I mean, obviously they talked about him, but I ain't heard about him. But back to what I was saying. He's a single man. He doesn't have any kids. I'm assuming, also comment below if you know this, I'm assuming that he has a home wherever he came from. If he doesn't, that is a little weird. But still, I feel like you really don't have anything going on right now. You're just working. You're able to travel. Inflation, why not? If you have a situation where a friend will let you stay in their basement and you have a 2-bedroom, a whole living room space, your own bathroom, I would fucking do it. Like, I'm just a single woman living out here, moving, being able to travel and move to place and able to still work. Yes, I'm gonna do it. So I kind of see that it's not, I don't see it as being a problem. You know, I don't really, personally, I don't see it as being a problem. I don't see it as him not wanting to stay in Nashville. I feel like if he found love and he really was in love, he seems like the type of person that he is not really stuck in being one place. So he would be able to come and, you know, he probably would, if he fell in love with you, he probably would stay in Nashville with you and y'all can buy a home together. I think really it's about his finances, how is he spending his money, and this could be, I mean, y'all let me know what y'all think about this, but this could be honestly a little insight of responsibility. He's not out splurging his money on stuff that he doesn't necessarily need. What is his credit score looking like? What is this bank account looking like? Assets. Those are the things that I would really care about, because that could be a potential smart move for him. I digress, okay? I can go into this all day. That's just how I'm seeing it. Please comment below. Maybe I know I missed the first 2 or 3 after party shows. I didn't watch them until one of y'all got me hip. It was like, well, this was revealed in the after party, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch them. So I don't know if something else was revealed about McKinley's living situation. So comment below if I'm missing something. But that's just based off of what I know so far. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not really necessarily looking at how his living situation is. I'm looking at, why is it that way? Where's your money? Okay, can you save? Have you saved? Anyways, again, I digress. So he goes in. McKinley seems over it, like I said. She asks if he wants to look around. She's got to pack up her stuff, and he like, nah, I'm cool. You know, I don't need to see anything. And she's disappointed. She feels like, well, if he really wanted to get to know me, he would look around. He would get to, and I do kind of feel that too. Like, you know, if you just met someone or you're getting to know somebody and you're dating them, you gotta look around their place and, you know, just kind of like peep stuff out and like just kind of not necessarily like poke around, but like I would look around, you know. But that's another indication that he's really over it. Like, what's the point? Bitch, you don't like me? I have to call her bitch, but like, you know what I'm saying? You don't like me? So, she is feeling that his energy off. I feel like we all feel it. I mean, it must really suck because, I mean, if I can feel it through the TV, I know it got to be awkward in person. So his energy is off and she doesn't want to be there. She feels like he doesn't want to be there. She asks if they make it past the 8 weeks, if this is somewhere that he can see himself living. And he says, who knows, we'll see. He's over it, okay? So we move on to Gina and Clint. Clint comes over by Gina's place. He's excited about, I think he's excited about having a dog because he's always wanted a dog, or I think I've heard something say that, like, oh, I just never had a dog, or I want a dog, whatever the case is. He's excited about the dog. He's also excited about moving in with Gina. He does express that in the interview. So she breaks the news to him that she's not ready to move in because she doesn't see the progression. There's not enough romantic gestures that's happened since the honeymoon or since the big disagreement. And she doesn't really feel like it would be comfortable for her to move in with him. And he definitely disagrees. He's like, this is a marriage, okay? It doesn't make sense for us to be living apart because then we're not able to actually work on those little things. Like, for me to be able to be romantic towards you, or to, so while I may understand what she's saying, it could be just uncomfortable situation for her, and she's feeling pressured. So if she doesn't want to do it, she shouldn't do it, right? And Clint respects that. If she doesn't want to move in with me, she doesn't have to. But if you truly really wanted to work on moving forward in the relationship or this marriage, the right thing to do would be to move in with the partner. Like, because it's a marriage. This isn't dating at first sight, okay? It's marriage at first sight. And when you sign up for this show, you're signed up to literally be married, not dating, not getting to know, I mean, obviously you have to get to know the person, but like, you're getting to know them while you have that commitment. The vows that you guys said at the altar. Let's remember that, right? Obviously, we want to be comfortable. We want to go with our instincts. I don't know exactly how Clint makes her feel, you know, outside of the cameras, but she baby uncomfortable. She don't want to live with him, okay? But yeah, I put in my notes that he seems like he's really on board. And I think that my initial reaction to this couple was she does not like him, but I feel like he likes her. I feel like he could see that. I know he mentioned the kids at one point. I think that Clint could see himself with Gina. I think he's attracted to her. I think he likes her. I think that he is responding to her the way he is, though, because of the fact that it's a defense mechanism because she ain't feeling him. That's just, it is what it is. That's just how I see it. Comment below if you think differently. So then we move on to Jasmine and Aries. We at Jasmine's house, child. I love Jasmine, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I love her. So Aries is impressed with all her pageant girl trophies and crowns. Okay, he like, I asked for a queen and they gave me a black queen. So, you know, he's impressed. The dogs. This is interesting, right? So a couple recaps ago, I talked about, because I know everybody went crazy about the dogs. Like, oh my gosh, she got 13 dogs. Ew, her house probably this, like, y'all was going in. And I'm like, I saw it differently. Because she said she had a business. She had a breeding business, right? And if you have 9 puppies, breeding business, I'm thinking she has her own. I said this in the last couple recaps ago. She probably has a house outside in the back of the house, a nice shelter for them where they can, like, you know, run, do this, do that. You know, she takes care of them in a separate space. That's what I was assuming. I was assuming that she took care of her puppies in a separate space. Honestly, because it's only her, again, still on Jasmine back here. Y'all gonna come for me, I know it. But, like, I don't see nothing wrong with her actually having the puppies in the house, especially if she lives on her own. With her having a new person, it seems like she has a pretty big house. She probably could make a specific space just for her breeding business. And at the end of the day, guys, look, this is a business. Dogs, they're expensive. You can, I mean, cheap is $200. But they really run. And y'all probably know, if y'all got dogs or y'all bought a dog before, dogs run from 500 plus, okay? They're expensive. And if you get a full bred dog, grand plus, okay? So that's what I'm saying. That's a good business to be in. It really is. So if she's, I mean, her house ain't clean that we saw of. And as long as she is keeping everything clean and maybe accommodating Aries if they're going to stay together, I'm just saying this was like, you know, realistically about to happen for her. Like, if she really found like a husband, you know what I'm saying? She had to accommodate him because Aries ain't it. But, you know, I feel like she would have to accommodate her partner by maybe making a specific space in the house or in the basement or like a big shed out in the back and making it a livable, nice space for the dogs. Whereas she can still breathe, they can still live comfortably. They can, you know, like, they could be happy, she could be happy, and, you know, everybody be on one accord. I think that that's important, but she looks like she got the space to do it. I don't think it's a big issue. Like, some people really like get freaked out about the dogs, like her having 13 dogs. I don't think it's an issue. She has a breeding company. I see a light at the end of this tunnel. Jasmine, do you, boo? Okay, Aries ain't it though. I've been saying that Aries ain't it, child, but she seemed like she still got hope. She hanging in. I said hanging in. She's hanging on. That's what I meant to say. She's hanging on for dear life. So we move on to Kirsten and Shaq. Again, I think we missed Shaq's place because I watched the last episode. I did not see Shaq's place. I'm really mad that they cut that out. I would have loved to see and get to know Shaq. I'm pretty sure the world wants to get to know and see Shaq's apartment and get to know and see him because we in love with Shaq. Comment below. Who don't love Shaq? I like Shaq. I want to get to know Shaq. He make bow ties. That is so cute. There, you know. I know in the after party, I always want to call her Rudy Huxtable so bad. Rudy. She made a comment like, oh, that's not something you normally see in a man's apartment. It's a sewing machine. And that is very true. I was kind of wondering, I was like, wow, what is he? Is he hemming or like, is he hemming his own pants? I know he wears suits and stuff, but he makes bow ties. I honestly thought that was so fucking cute, y'all. Like, and I love me a masculine man, but there is nothing more masculine about a man that is masculine but can be in tune with different sides of himself. Every time I see Shaq on the screen, he is giving masculine energy with a nice touch of like smooth, like just like I don't know really the word. This coffee got me feeling the way, y'all. I'm like, this caffeine, I love coffee, y'all, but I like Shaq. I would love to see his place versus Kirsten's non-personality, just like her place. Like, I mean, it lacked everything. I mean, there was nothing out of place and out of order. It looked like a demo apartment with a purse beside the bed and a charger in the outlet. Like, I was so disappointed. I expected her to have a little bit more personality, but like, the more I get to know Kirsten, the more I'm like, she is boring. She's critical. She's stuck up. This is how I'm perceiving her. And the thing about it is, I know I've actually been learning because I went in on Chris 2 recaps ago, and I am trying to not be mean because at the end of the day, these are people. We're just like if somebody came in my house and recorded me, like, we're all people. Like, we have our ways. There's things that people are not going to agree with, right? So I try not to, and I try not to go into crazy, but it's very, very noticeable. Kirsten lacks personality. She's very critical. I noticed when I first started watching the show, one thing I resonated with her, like I actually kind of felt like, wow, I can relate to this, is she suffers from trying to be perfect. Perfectionism. I think that's perfectionism. I think that's the word. She wants everything to be perfect. She gotta be perfect. So she is battling this herself. But I thought that there was still personality behind it. There was still there was depth to Kirsten. Her place gave me no depth. If you come into my house, I'm all over the place, okay? You can see Candace. I may not have all like pictures on the wall right now, only because my boyfriend won't let me go crazy, y'all. Cause my old place, I had my paintings on the wall. I had a couple paintings. I love to paint when I have the time. And I have pictures and stuff like that. So like I have lots of character when I have spaces. I give my space lots of character. It lacked everything, y'all. I digress. I keep doing this. Let's see here. Yes, so Shaq just as disappointed as us. He just as disappointed. I'm sorry, Shaq is just as disappointed as us, okay? He was looking forward to getting to know her by looking at her place. And he gets to know nothing because it looks like she just moved in there yesterday. And that was his words, exactly. Shaq seemed like he was stressing. And she started to smile. And this just gave me, this is what I was just talking about. I was just like, I don't like her. Like, her energy is terrible. It is terrible. So we move on to Dom and Max. So Dominique brings up McKinley's energy while they're in the car. And he says there is this just one thing after another with him. So, like, he's being honest. Like, look, I can't go right. I can't go right with you. It's just always wrong. And I put, honestly, I can agree. And I've also put that you could tell it's weighing heavy on his mind, all of the criticism. So we already talked about that. He feels like she won't accept his dogs. This was the first time I heard about the dogs, y'all. I was like, wait, McKinney got dogs? And then he started bringing up the issue with, you may not accept my dogs. And she was like, well, your dogs don't even live here. You've been here for 5 months. So you obviously don't care about your dogs. And he just got super fit. Like, it was a lot. So the dogs became an issue. Honestly, my perspective was that was one of the things that he could criticize. But really his biggest criticism is that he can't be himself. He's not comfortable. He feels like he's constantly being criticized by Dominique and not accepted. So that is honestly what I felt like the problem is, but he wanted to make it about the dogs. So whatever. Because I ain't seen these dogs. If you really love them, like, where my Oreo at? He was just right here. I have a cat. Oh, there you go. My cat right here. I love my baby. I love my baby. I could go a couple nights without him though. Because, I mean, we go on vacations and I don't take my cat. So, when I go on vacation, I'll be thinking about him though. I miss him so much. I love my cat. Like, oh, my baby. So, but for me to just move up and move out the state and just be there for several months, my cat's coming with me. Hands down, my cat's coming with me. Like, I'm not leaving my cats. So for him to bring up the dogs and how it's such an issue now, it just seemed odd to me. And I don't know that obviously there's so much that happens and they can only show us so much in an hour and a half worth of time, especially because they're sharing it with 4 or 5 different couples. So it's understandable that we can't see everything. So it looks like we even saw like a little past clip that they talked about the dogs. So it has came up in conversation. But my thing is how important are these dogs to you? Because we haven't heard about these dogs. We know about Chris dogs. And Nicole's one dog. We know about Chris dogs though. Anywho. We know about Jasmine's dogs. Everybody got dogs this season. Shit, Gina's dog. We know about Gina's dog. We knew about Gina's dog a while ago because Clint was talking about how he's happy to be able to have a dog. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when did McKinley get dogs? Please. What? Let me know when I missed it, y'all. I missed it. I know I did. Because he going hard for these dogs this episode. I was really surprised. I'm like, wait, what, the dogs? Huh? Where'd he come from? All right. So then we move on to Chris, back to Chris and Nicole. The dogs are getting along. They she introduces Charlie. I love Charlie. Oh, I've never even seen Charlie. This is our first episode seeing Charlie, but just the way she talks about Charlie, I just like Charlie. So we see that Charlie is introduced to Chris's 2 dogs, Dakota and Mystery Dog. I don't know his name or her name. I put Chris is finally concerned about if she gonna be cool without Charlie. He finally like, are you gonna be okay, by the way? Because my dog's gonna be at the house. You know, I ain't cried over it. Boo-hoo, got my way. You good? You good? Yeah, that was that. So then we move on to Gina and Clint. Clint is offering ultimatums, okay? You can stay in one bedroom. I can take the other one just to make sure you're comfortable. He wants Gina, okay? He wants her. He wants her. He just feel rejected. That's all. That's why he playing. That's why he keep kind of like, you know, having to fight his little battle about the ginger thing, because he hurt. He hurt. He want her. He want her to want him. She says she just doesn't want to feel forced into it. She feels like she doesn't. She feels like she's not feeling ready for the move, and she feels like it'll be forcing it. She doesn't want to feel forced, and if she goes in and move in, she'll feel like it's being forced. And I feel like she's dropping a lot of hints and clues that she just doesn't want to do it. And I think that I'm somebody, I think everybody's different. I've noticed, I've actually talked to people and they be like gun-ho on someone, and like I will clearly see all the signs. They'll be telling me the scenario, right? And I will clearly see all the signs like, damn, they don't sound like they want you. They don't sound like they like fuck with you for real. And they be like, but da, da, da. And they make excuses, and like they still like, you know, want to try. And I'm just like, oh my god, like, can you see rejection when it like it's right in front of your face? But I'm also one of those people that are so quick to be like, oh, you don't want me, it's cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. No, don't worry about it. No, like I'm one of those. Like I don't like rejection. You don't have to. You ain't gonna reject me, boo, because I'm gonna reject you first. Like I'm cool. I read all the signs. I do not want to be anywhere that I'm not wanted. I'm one of those. Point blank. I can want you all damn day, but I will play like I ain't want you never in my life. If you gonna act like you don't want me, period. So I'm one of those. So that's why I be like, I be seeing the signs, and it's just like clear signs that Gina don't want you. Like just go ahead and give her a divorce. She said she want to work towards something, but just like Pastor Carol said, oh, I'm jumping the gun. Pastor Carol says, like, you know, for you to really want to work on this is to move in together, and I definitely agree with that. But yeah, so he's offering ultimatums. She says that she just doesn't want to feel forced, blah, blah, blah. We move on to Dominique and McKinley. It's super awkward. Okay. Dom isn't unpacking because she ain't feeling it right now. So she's just sitting in the chair. McKinley's unpacking. He's getting comfortable. He feels like so they start to have a conversation about it because she feels the awkwardness. So he feels like she is constantly finding things that she doesn't like about him, and he feels like he's compromising where there is no compromise on her end. And we've heard him say this before, so this is not new news. And I put in my notes, I can definitely see both sides. And I know I've kind of defended McKinley a lot, but in Dominique's defense, I'll say this. Sometimes, no. I'm more of a get to know a person and like them based off of who they are versus what they look like. You could be a sexy person, so good looking, but if your personality, I don't like it. If I don't like your personality, it makes you less attractive to me. And I think that's what's happening here in Dominique's situation. And it sucks because I think that this show gives it gives this pressure of having a reason why you don't want to be, like, it has to be a reason that they're doing something to you for it to be a reason not for it to work. I feel like that, right? And it could just simply be that they're just not compatible on so many different levels when it comes to the little jokes that McKinley does, or the way he does certain things, or the way he carries himself. There's certain things that can make you not attracted to a person that people don't account for. It's so crazy. And Dominic doesn't really have an opportunity to really be able to express that, right? Because we're gonna see in the future that Pastor Cal is like talking about how marriage is this, marriage is that, and you gotta do it this way and do it that way. But we don't account for the fact that, like, he was talking about how when he matched Dominique, and I'm jumping the gun, but when he matched Dominique and McKinley, that there were certain things that they told him that they wanted, and that's why they matched him. And that's what I'm saying, like, we don't account for all the little other things that could play into why people are not attracted to each other, right? Boom. So let's see here. But yeah, he says that he felt shitty since the honeymoon. She says that she's felt the same way, but he doesn't understand why, because he has not made not one complaint about her. And I think that's where it comes in, why she's feeling shitty is because she doesn't like him. And she has to try not to criticize him, but like I kind of understand what she's going through, right? Okay, so we move on to Jasmine and Aries. So we have Pastor Cal sitting down with them. Aries says that he felt bad because his wife really likes him, but he is not there yet. She wants him to want her and rip her clothes off, okay? And that even makes him more guilty because he hears that and he knows how sexual a person that he is, but he is just not attracted to her. Pastor Cal potentially, Pastor Cal blames the experience or the experiment on why he may be feeling the way he's feeling. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Again, just kind of what I described is probably potentially the reason why Aries is not being connected to Jasmine. He knows she's cute. He knows she's attractive. He knows that she's a black, beautiful queen. She's won lots of pageants. But there's probably things that she's doing and things that, you know, the way she carries herself, the way, you know, where she laughs, the way she did it. Like, it's just things that you just find and people that it may not be attractive to you. And that could maybe cause a lack of initial, like, just sexual chemistry or, you know, physical attraction. Honestly, I think that's what's really going on here. So we go to Gina and Clint. So they're right in front of Pastor Cal. So I'm not really sure what's going on. But I see what y'all mean about Gina. Yep, I agree with y'all, what y'all said about Gina. I think that Clint really likes her and I wanted to give her a shot. So I did kind of say, I did jump the gun earlier. I've been jumping the gun all this recap. So I already kind of said all this, that Clint, I really think that he really wanted to give this a shot. I really think he liked Gina, and I really think he really wants her to move in. But it's very clear, and like, it's very clear that she does not want to move in. So Pastor Cal asks, are we moving forward or are we getting a divorce? Clint is committed. He really wants to get to know Gina. Gina doesn't want to give up, but she doesn't feel comfortable living together. It sounds like she doesn't know how to necessarily, she doesn't want to be the bad guy. That's my personal opinion. You guys comment below, let me know what you think. Then we move on to Chris and Nicole without Pastor Cal. They're having their moment in the apartment by themselves, and this is when I had to change perspective a little bit about Nicole. So Chris doesn't want to move in right away. Their actually leases are up in about right after the experiment, and they have Chris has a week to let his people know whether or not he's renewing or not. And my question was, why not go month to month? I don't know how like every place is, so maybe month to month is not an option for them. And then they could always, month to month, I believe you can always get evicted too, especially if someone wants to come in with a lease. So there's a lot of different kind of like downfalls to month. But that was my first thought. I was just like, well, why don't y'all just move month to month? But whatever the case is, Chris says that he doesn't really want to rush into finding a place right away after decision day. And partially the reason is because what if something happens? He want to make sure that they have their own spaces just in case things doesn't work out. Now, this was very alarming to me personally. I was very kind of took back just how Nicole was. She was not feeling the fact that they would have to live apart the first couple of months of being married. She was like, why would we go from living together during this experiment to not living together? She wasn't feeling it. And honestly, I have to agree. But we are going to see that she actually is going to hush up about it and just allow it to be, because she doesn't want to rock the boat. And that actually threw me for a little loop. I actually was shocked. I was like, Nicole, I don't see you being... I didn't see you being this person. But I digress. And that was another thing I thought of too. There was a moment when during Chris's breakdown, right, when he cried last episode, where he was talking about how Nicole actually was like, well, how about we live separately because of the dogs, right? Well, when we live separately, we just see each other every day. And it really wasn't something that I don't think resonated with him. I don't know if it was something that the producer said was a no-go. Y'all had to live together for the show. Or Chris was against it. But it just kind of like, it threw me off. Honestly, I was just like, wait, he doesn't want to, I don't know. But yeah, he said if something happens after the 8 weeks, you know, we just want to make sure that we're okay. And that kind of like, it was alarming. I ain't gonna lie. So we get Pastor Cal sitting down with Kirsten and Shaq. Kirsten says that it feels natural. She says that Shaq is an over communicator, like me. I'm over communicator. Kirsten complains about Shaq's joking. At this point, that's his personality, okay? You're complaining about his personality. Pastor Cal defends Shaq. Thank you, Pastor Cal. Explain to her. I wish he explained it a little bit differently, but he explained to her that, look, I tell the corny jokes in this marriage, and me and my wife's marriage, and she got to deal with it. I'ma still be me, but she loves me regardless. And that's the thing. You're not gonna love everything that somebody do. That's that perfectionism that she suffers with, literally. Like, you're not gonna love everything that your partner does, but you can't expect them to be perfect. Like, you have to accept them and love them for who they are, as they are. Period, boo. Get it together, Kirsten. Damn. She get on my nerves. So, let's see. She says she just wants an emotional connection. She also mentions that they don't really have no chemistry. And you can tell Shaq's face. He seems to be a little taken back by it. And he probably over it, honestly. He probably like, you know what? I'm sick of her criticism. I'm sick of her, you know, she lacks personality just like her apartment. Like, girl, bye. Like, I could see Shaq being like, let me go make my bow ties, okay? And teach my students and mentor, okay? I'm pretty sure after this show, Shaq is gonna be, his DM's gonna be packed with lots of potentials, okay? Because he is a catch. I'm so sick of Kirsten. She get on my nerves. And I'm so happy. It seems like the wonderful thing about this situation is I think that he is not allowing her to hurt his ego. And I appreciate that. Do not allow Kirsten to hurt your ego, boo. Please don't. Okay? So then we move on to Chris and Nicole with Pastor Cal. They seem to be doing good. Nicole went off about the wedding picture. I felt her on that. I don't think that's funny that they made that an example of her being unhinged or like, girl, I would do the same thing to the cameras. Like, why would y'all pick this? Y'all want us to last, right? Disrespect. I felt Nicole on that. Like, pick a good picture of me. In fact, send me a few options and I'll pick out the best picture. Don't play me. Like, I felt Nicole on that. I would do that too, straight to the cameras. Like, since we here, y'all watching us all damn day, what the fuck? Let's talk about it. Put this on TV. I loved it, Nicole. Okay, I loved it. She's so funny. They asked Chris, like, oh, are you afraid of her temper? No, like, that was innocent, okay? I would do the same thing, like I said. We learned that they have consummated the marriage. They just gave each other that look one day, and they was just like, they was animals, and they just took each other down, okay? I'm just curious of how it went. Nicole, you gonna have to fill us in, because we see next episode that you tell your friend that you gonna be the one being the asshole. I think that's what they said that they cut out. I thought I said asshole. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really, really curious of what that dick do. Nicole, let us see it. Let us see it on it. Okay, so we move on to the last scene of the episode. We got McKinley and Dom. Dom is ready for battle. She actually mentioned in the after show that before Pastor Cal got there, that he went on a 10-minute rant. I would really love to see one of these rants. I really want to. I need her to secret. No, I hate the secret recording, but I need to see one of the rants. I don't know. We need to see one of them rants. Okay. Cause I believe her. Let's be clear. But McKinley ranting, I would love to see it. I need to see what that looks like. Anyways. Dominique she says she wants someone that's more positive, outgoing, and adventurous. McKinley wants to bring someone that's going to bring him out of his shell, but not that adventurous, baby, okay? Not where we have to go horseback riding every other day. We got to go fishing, golfing, camping, mountain climbing, all in 1 month. Like, you know, let's just once a month type deal here and there, okay? Understand my jokes, get me, and let me be me. And, you know, I can, again, understand what type of man McKinley is. I am the outgoing person in my relationship. My boyfriend is lots laid back. And but he's adventurous, though. That's not a good example. My boyfriend, like, you know, I might be the one to be like, let's do this. But he gonna be like, okay, let's go. He gonna be with this shit. So never mind. I can't even compare the two. Let's see here. Pastor Carol said, look, y'all both told us what you wanted. This is what I have some commentary on, y'all. He said, y'all told us what you wanted, and we took it, and we put y'all together, and it should work. If you don't work, y'all lied to us. Again, Dominique is going through a sense of, look, yes, y'all could have matched me with somebody that potentially was a good match, but I don't like him. His energy, the way he complains, his jokes, it's all the mannerisms. She don't like it, which makes him less attractive to her. She don't want the man. That's what I get. That's what I get from this whole situation. And Pastor Cal said Mac ain't broke. But Dominique said she wants someone that's more established. He asked what they want to do, and Dominique says she's over it. And that's where we end the episode. We don't know whether or not they want to get a divorce or not, so we'll find out next week. But guys, please make sure y'all comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know what you guys thought about the couples and where they're headed, and like what's your predictions and who gonna make it, who not gonna make it. I want to hear all that from you guys. Please comment below. I'll definitely respond to your comments. Let's talk, and I will see you guys in my next recap. Peace.